Well, what about public broadcasters, Mr. Abbott? Another soft target. The ABC and SBS in the firing line.
I trust everyone actually listened to what Joe Hockey has said last week and again this week. No cuts to education, no cuts to health, no change to pensions, no change to the GST, and no cuts to the ABC or SBS.
What you haven't explained is how you can make one promise in 1 month and then completely change it the next. What happened in that month where you had this sudden explosion of vision?
Again, Kerry, people will make their own judgments about me, and
but I'd like you to explain.
Well, you know, again, Kerry, I know politicians are going to be judged on everything they say, but sometimes in the heat of discussion you go a little bit further than you would if it was an absolutely calm, considered, prepared, scripted remark, which is one of the reasons why the statements that need to be taken absolutely as gospel truth is those carefully prepared, scripted remarks. All of us, Kerry, all of us, when we're in the heat of verbal combat, so to speak, will sometimes say things that go a little bit further.
Would you agree that there is extra onus on you to be accurate and honest and make promises that can be trusted?
Absolutely right. But
at that time you couldn't.
No, but it wasn't absolutely consistent with what I said the month before.
It was the opposite. But this business about times when what you say can be believed or trusted and times when we should accept that it's not necessarily the truth. It makes it very hard for people. I mean, but what you are saying is that the public are not going to know from one day to the next when you are saying something that's absolutely rock solid and when it's not. Are there two Tony Abbotts, the real Tony Abbott and the Tony Abbott who tailors what he has to say to whatever audience he has in front of him? How are we to know when we're hearing your true position and when you're fudging the truth?
People will make their judgments of me, Kerry, and I accept that and I understand that. And some of them will say, aha, he said this.
No cuts to education, no cuts to health, no change to pensions, no change to the GST, and no cuts to the ABC or SBS. No cuts to the ABC or SBS. No cuts to the ABC or SBS.
Which is not completely consistent with that former statement.
It was the opposite. It was the opposite of the first statement, Mr. Abbott.
And some people, Kerry, will judge me very harshly
about that.
But
I'd like to hear you acknowledge this. It wasn't just a little bit different, it was the complete opposite.